bit of an odd mesh of things. I was just on the bush hog because today is the last day of summer, so getting ready for the fall, going ahead and cutting the fields back and starting all those preparations, getting ready for the fall, doing some things, and then also got to I'm trying to till and put in food plots for deer, so got to get that done as well. A few other things, and then I'll throw into this video making pulled pork barbecue. So that's going to be the next thing, and then we'll switch back a little bit back and forth to between cutting the fields and making pulled pork barbecue for dinner this evening. All right, just back from a quick run, and thought I would well, we're making pulled pork barbecue for dinner tonight, and I thought, well, that'd be a cool thing to do a little quick recipe on. And before I head back out, I got to go bush hog another field. So anyways, pulled pork, got the recipe from a friend in a hunt club. Nothing special. It's all over the internet. But get about a 5 to 7 pound Boston butt, pork butt, lots of fat on it, is okay. And just have a crock pot and put some kind of a dry rub, whatever kind of sauce you want, or spice rub you want on the meat. Rinse, when you take the pork out of the package, just rinse it off, cool water, dry it off, paper towels, put the dry rub on it. Ideally, if you have time, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight so those spices and stuff soak into the meat. And first thing in the morning, before you go to work, take an onion or two. I use Vidalia onions. Cut them, peel them in half, cut the ends off, cut them in half, set them in the bottom. If it's a big onion, just use one, cut it in half. If they're smaller onions, like take two, cut them in half, set them in the bottom, and then set the shoulder in there, which you can see in the crock pot, and then add just one beer. You can add some other spices, and sorry about the dog barking in the background. I've got some jalapenos, fresh jalapeno chopped up in here from the garden, and one beer. Put it on, put the crock pot on low for the day, somewhere between say 6 to 8 hours, and then turn it off. I tend to have, if somebody else is home, have them turn it off and let it cool down so it's not so hot to work with. And then it is just a matter of pulling this out, and it will be so tender that when you grab it, the meat truly just pulls apart. And then I set it into a separate pan so that I can separate out the fat and the bone. So I will go ahead and do this, and then I will come back to it in just a second. I'm going to load it in a small aluminum pan, and then I have an electric smoker, which I'll add to this video. And so I load it up in a pan, put it in a smoker with hickory and applewood chips, smoke it on high for about an hour. It's an electric smoker, which is great. So I can really control it, let it smoke for an hour, and then it's ready to go. So I'll come back. I'm going to finish this up. I'll show you putting it in the pan, putting it in the smoker, and then I'm going to head back out on the tractor, and then I'll add another video once at the end with the pork when it's done. All right. So I've got all of the pork pulled and separated, and I'm not really particular about pulling every last bit of fat off of it. You can see most of it has been left in with the onions and the leftover sauce. So pull this and leave especially try to mix it up so that a lot of the edge where the dry rub was on top gets mixed in. And then go ahead and add maybe not all of a bottle, but maybe this is a 16-ounce bottle of barbecue sauce. And of course, this is North Carolina, so we're making a North Carolina vinegar-based barbecue. And I prefer, like George's barbecue, which is made here in North Carolina, but the ingredients are very basic, and it is a vinegar-based sauce, but there's nothing else, nothing artificial in here. It really is pretty all-natural sauce. And mix that in, and then leave some extra, put it on sandwiches and on your dinner. And then the next step is to throw it into this pan. And so we'll load this up. It should, a 5 to 7 pound Boston butt should just about fill this, and then we'll put it into the smoker. Okay, so moved outside in the porch, and have the charbroil true infrared, I guess it's called the Big Easy smoker, electronic smoker, and probably one of the better deals I've scored. Had been looking at these on Amazon. I want to say they were in the, I don't know, $150, $160 range or something, and went into Lowe's one day and this thing was on clearance for about $75, last one they had, and picked it up. It's been pretty terrific. Trying to make, especially make North Carolina smoked pulled pork that's actually smoked, and do it in a way that's pretty easy to do. So to go from the crock pot and then into this aluminum pan, packed in there somewhat, not completely packed down, and so when this thing smokes for an hour, it will, the top of this will get pretty like golden brown, but really smoked. The smoker itself comes with, this is the where the magic happens, in this little triangular box of sorts that simply goes into the front of the smoker. You slide this in, click it in at the top, and that's it. And then just turn it on, turn up the power level to 15. Buttons are not the most responsive things, but they are weatherproof. So put it to 15, open it up, and I'm not sure how easily I'm going to be able to do this. So I'm going to I'll turn it off for a second, set the meat in there, because it takes 2 hands to do it, and I'll turn it back on. Okay, so got the meat in the smoker. It's got a, you can see it has a basket that goes all the way down, and this thing's pretty terrific. You can smoke turkey in here. I've done large turkeys in here, which are fantastic. We did it last year at our school, Thanksgiving. We did, what did we do? Fried, baked. I think we did a Dutch oven, and we did one in the smoker. And I think the consensus was amongst everybody, the turkey that came out of the smoker was the best. I coated it in peanut oil, just like you would in a fryer, coated in peanut oil and dry rubbed it and put it in here. It was amazing. So anyways, that's it. It's pretty simple right now. So I'm going to close this up. I actually put the meat fairly close to the top, so when the smoke rises, it really builds up here and you get a really good smoky flavor in the top of the meat. So close it up. I got to go cut a field, and we'll come back in about an hour for dinner. I lied, I'm not going out just yet. I meant to say these are the quick and easy, even though I cut down some apple branches off of an apple tree, and if I'd had a shredder and shredded them myself, I could have used some, but just got these things at Lowe's. They're great. They're already super dry. A bag of chips, applewood chips, hickory chips, depending on flavors you're looking for and things that you're smoking. You can get cherry wood chips, and you can get pecan wood chips for the smoker. And you can also do stuff like using cedar planks like this, smoke salmon and other things directly on these boards, and then wash them back off. So it's pretty versatile. And again, you don't have to deal with charcoal or anything else. Just turn it on at the end of the cycle. You move it to clean. It heats it up, cleans everything. And over time, the inside of the smoker has developed and will continue to develop a pretty amazing patina of just from the greases and the smokes and things on the inside of it that really, I think, accentuate the flavor. All right, that's it. Now I'm really going. Be back in an hour.
Hey, don't know if you can hear me over the tractor or not, but anyways, thought I'd come out and get on the tractor. I already showed you the other thing we're doing and mowing, but that's the bush hog. It's a 5-foot Mahindra bush hog, and the way this thing works is from the PTO shaft drive going back to the blade, coming off the tractor, engage the foot, push forward to engage the PTO shaft, let off the clutch slowly. Now it's running. And then on this side, simply lower it down. You can see it. So you can see it comes up, goes down. Adjust the height. And then it's a matter of start driving. Who knows if you'll be able to hear this or not, hear me talking.
Amazing stuff we find on this farm never ceases. Doesn't seem to anyways. I keep thinking, I've said it several times, that I think we found every piece of trash that's out here, and we have a huge mountain. Probably can't see it on the video. We have a huge mountain of trash out there, including satellite dishes and everything else. But check these out. Just growing and completely covered are 2 perfectly good fence gates. 6-foot fences that were just buried along with a pile of rubble and some other stuff that were right here, that excavated, pulled out with a tractor, just buried under there. Just one more thing. All right, back to bush hogging. Okay. Finished bush hogging, got a shower, cleaned up a little bit. So this video is gonna start with me. I'm gonna do the intro and end with it. Don't know if you can see the smoke. Hopefully you can see the smoke coming out of here, but we haven't opened it up. Been a little over an hour, and so come on in and we'll open it up here and see how. Oh yeah, things are definitely looking great. Here, get down, right down in there. You probably hear it sizzling on the edges and cooking, getting nice and crispy. We'll go ahead and turn this up to the clean mode. Pull this out of here. And then we will carry this upstairs, and maybe you can see the smoke coming off of it now, but this is one of those times you wish you had smell-o-vision, because the smell is incredible. The whole time I was out cutting the field, I could smell the smoke coming off of this, plus the barbecue, and it is as good as North Carolina wood-cooked, wood-smoked barbecue can smell. So it's gonna be great. Okay, so go ahead and just take this, and we will drop it in, and glove off, and we'll scrape these crispy parts, which is that great part, like at an actual pig picking, when you get that pulled pork and it's got those crispy pieces of meat that are well smoked on the edges, which really give it flavor. Put all this in here, back in here, and then we'll mix this up. Turn it over so that the smoked parts on the top get mixed in with everything else, and that is it. Next up is dinner with some coleslaw and some completely homemade potato salad, and it'll be a great dinner. That's it. Okay, so that was the evening on St. Isidore's farm, and great night. Cool weather starting to come in. Tomorrow's the first day of fall. Can't wait. Lots of projects to work on, and yeah. So dinner was awesome. The barbecue was terrific, and got one more field cut this evening. So I've still got one more field to do tomorrow night, and then all the fields are done, and we can start turning to some other projects. Finishing up some other projects, especially now we got cooler weather, which can't wait. So have a good night. God bless.